Okay, guys, so I want to value everybody's time here, so I just want to talk about a few things here. Like, what are you going to leave with? What is the purpose of me talking today? So, even though WowMe has been in the content generation business, like I mentioned on stage earlier, we've created over 1.5 million pieces of content. So we've created quite a lot of content. But the thing that I've been most interested in over the last few years is how do you connect the dots between content and revenue? And I think that's really what everybody should be interested in, because look, you can make videos and Canva documents, and you can have flyers, you can do all those things till the cows come home. But if you're not connecting the dots between content and revenue, it's probably not going to be beneficial to you. So over the past 10 years, I've really, I've got quite obsessed with data, I think, actually. And the three things that I've kind of been really thinking about is what data do you need to measure to drive revenue? Right, so can we get a raise of hands? Who actually has a revenue roadmap for 2025? Nobody in the room. Okay, wow. Okay, that's really cool, but also a little bit, yeah. It is cool in a sense of we're in this really weird period of time with AI, well, what's going on with AI, and everything's so data-driven and so context-driven, and it can't make predictive analysis unless it has data. And we need data to understand where we need to go next. So this is something I've been really thinking about. What data do we need to measure to drive revenue? The next thing is how to build marketing initiatives that drive revenue. So sorry, I'm going to sing. David, yeah. So David, what's your 2025 revenue goal? How much do you want to make in the next 12 months?
Created here 600.
No, not in income, in volume.
About volume of mortgage loans?
Volume, yeah. 110 million.
No,
80 million. What did you do last previous 12 months?
Oh, that's not true.
50. Okay, so it's a $30 million delta. Sir, what's your 12-month goal? Volume.
And volume-wise, I'd like to be about
100 to 150 million. What did you do previous 12 months?
I think it was 40 to 50.
40 to 50. Okay, so you want to basically about a 300% increase. Okay, thank you. Ma'am at the back, are you, not the water cooler?
I don't have
You
brand new.
You're brand new?
Yeah.
Okay, but you must have some goal, even if it's 5 million volume.
Yeah, I would like to do 10 million.
10 million. Okay, great. What did you do previous 12 months? 0. So it's 100% growth. Cool. Okay, good. All right, so who in the room?
No, that's not 100%.
Yeah,
That's an infinite.
Infinite amount of growth. Okay. So we'll get onto the marketing initiatives in just a second, but we really want to, who feels overwhelmed? If you could just raise your hands. Yeah. I love it. I'm overwhelmed. I need a drink. So who feels overwhelmed with all the different marketing initiatives or programs that are available today? Yeah? Okay. Who would feel okay, if I just had to do that one marketing initiative, I could do that? It'd be a lot easier, right? So the next thing is how to choose content that drives marketing initiatives, right? Because if you can just focus on just a couple of marketing initiatives and you have the content to actually go with those marketing initiatives, it just makes your life easier. So, well, look, here, I did mention this earlier, but, I've been a co-founder and CEO of WowMe from the beginning. This is our 10th year in business. We've served, just over 13,000 sales professionals, and we've created a lot of content. Our vision at the company is to make digital marketing simple so that you guys can focus on what matters. A couple of things I think are really important, like making digital marketing simple. You're going to hear me mention AI again and again and again and again. And mark my words, it's going to revolutionize everything. I mean, you can do the research. You've probably been seeing it on your feeds and whatnot. But with that comes a lot of complexity. So there's going to be a lot of fear of missing out. There's going to be a lot of overwhelm. There's going to be a lot of confusion. So what we want to do is cut through the noise and make digital marketing simple for you guys so that you can focus on what matters. And of course, that changes from person to person. So that's just a little bit of information on me. So over the past 10 years, we've been on a bit of a journey. Initially, we were creating content, literally taking, my co-founder is actually in the back there. He's also has a lot of personal stage fright. So I'm not gonna bring him up, but one of the things, Oren is an unbelievably talented content creator. And Wowme's been on a really cool journey where we were literally taking headshots of people, and then it moved to videos, and then it moved to videos and headshots, and then it moved to videos, headshots, and brochures, and then it moved to just, creating, a year's worth of content where people would fly to our studio and create all this amazing content. But a couple of years ago, something really crazy happened, is that people got really disappointed with our services. They would launch their ecosystem, we called it an ecosystem, and past the point of like a couple of months of, oh yeah, people are commenting and liking my stuff, they got disappointed. And the reason being is that they started posting the content, the kind of wow factor kind of wore off, and then they were just kind of left with like, what next? Like I just invested in all this money in this stuff, what do I do next? So when rates went up in this last cycle, we had to move with the mortgage industry. Like we're a software company, and software is very expensive to run. And what was happening is that people were jumping off the ledge. So I went back into the field, and I started talking to all the people that were trying to jump off the ledge. And what's not working out for you? And I would speak to 2 people, and 4 people, and 8 people, and 50 people, and 100 people, and 200 people. And something really interesting was happening. I realized that I had been focusing so much on the product that I really forgot about the relationship. Like there was another human being, like Richard or Lance, that had like paid us money to do things. And we failed people because we failed to understand why they were even participating in our program. And it was a kind of a sobering moment for us because, when you work 60, 70 hours a week on something and then like people are like, this sucks, you're like, oh, okay, that's not good. So through these conversations, what I realized is that, we did not know where Lance wanted to go. We had no idea what David's goals were. And through inquisition, we were like, okay, well, David, what are you trying to do over the next 12 months? Like, where are you trying to go? Oh, I'm trying to get to 80 million. Oh, okay, cool. So I started to write these things down. And then I said, well, what did you do in the last 12 months? Oh, I did 30 million. Oh, okay, so you're trying to basically increase your productivity by 200%. Yeah, okay. Well, where's that business coming from? And through these dialogues, and we're going to get into this in just a second, this was the birth of what we call Success Track. So I don't know if you guys were on the main stage, but I had everybody ask that question, like, do you guys have a digital marketing strategy? Yeah. 100% of people that go through our program now have a revenue roadmap. Is there anyone who's in class today that has just signed up for the beta version that launched before? Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, a couple of folks. So you guys both went through Success Track, right? The beginning of it.
I'm going through it now.
You're going through it now? And you obviously went, yeah, because yeah. So 100% of people that sign up for the program have a digital marketing strategy. 100% of the people that sign up for the program have a revenue roadmap. And this is the beginning of Success Track. So the first thing that, and again, look, some of this may be a little bit overwhelming. I know you guys have been through a lot today. But if you just start with some of the emotions that you're feeling, if you resonate with some of these things, like urgency, sometimes we invest in things because we get FOMO and we just invest in marketing and we're like, God, why did I do that? You're wasting time. It's because you've got inconsistent lead flow. If you feel lost, it's probably because you've got low conversion rates. If you're feeling lonely, you know what? The independent channel is a little bit different. You're out there by yourself. Sometimes you can feel lonely when you're making these decisions. And again, overwhelm. I'm looking at all these data points, not just the numbers, but also looking at a data of like, how am I feeling about making my marketing investments? We're going to talk a little bit about this. And did everybody fill in that form, the QR form? We're going to take a little look at some of this data real quick and just see what these say. So let's see what these results say. Okay, so let's see if we can present these. This is the first time I've ever actually done this live, so it's kind of interesting to see. Do you have a digital marketing strategy? So 21 people said yes, 1 said no. Sorry, 21 people said wrong way round. That's if they were in the WowMe program. So isn't that crazy, like when we look at these things? So, okay, 22 people said no. Do you have a 12-month revenue roadmap? Same thing. Oof, if I could get you guys to just leave with that, that would be great. Do you have a top-of-funnel strategy? Who said yes?
What does it mean?
Well, that's what I want to say. Who said yes? Who said yes? You said. Well, you do, but that's cheating because you're part of WowMe. Okay. Who else said yes? Okay. Does anyone know what top-of-funnel is? What is top-of-funnel, sir?
That where you have lead capture pages where it takes them from one page and then they answer questions to another page, and then the funnel is the final lead to you.
Essentially, yes. It's the beginning of the marketing journey. What's your name, sir?
Michael.
Michael? Thank you, Michael. So,
Creating an avatar of who you're trying to attract.
yeah, that kind of is. It's getting people to become aware of you. So,
Deciding who your customer is that you're trying to get.
okay, what's your name, sir? Mike as well? Was it? Okay. Everyone's Michael, yeah. Okay. Yeah. So basically, it's the awareness stage, guys. Right? So what types of activities can we do to create awareness? I'm going to put you on the spot, Richard. What types of activities can we do to let people know that we're a mortgage advisor? David?
A website, if you want.
Website?
A campaign of,
You said an email campaign?
you can either do an email
Okay.
campaign or an Instagram.
Okay. What other activities? Yes?
Word of mouth.
Word of mouth? Okay. Text? Networking? Okay. From a digital marketing perspective, making video. That's a good one too, right? Making sure that you've got subject matter topics that are interesting to people and making sure that more people know about it. So top of funnel is really interesting because if you don't have great top of funnel, do you think you're going to have good middle funnel? Do you think you're going to have good bottom funnel? Probably not, right? So one of the things that's absolutely imperative is that all of your activities on the top, you know exactly what you're doing and without being overwhelmed in the process. Okay, let's see what other results. Do you know what your top of funnel conversion ratio is? Who said yes?
I was one person, we have a very old-fashioned, we use data to figure out who to call, and then we just call them up and tell them, hey, we could save you this much money.
Okay,
And they say yes or no.
gotcha. So more direct,
Yeah.
old school. Okay, so top of funnel conversion is quite simply this. If your business is basically split in 3 areas: existing database, referral partners, and direct consumer, right? And all of you are going to have different percentages of where that business comes from. Some of you are going to be really heavy with your existing database. Some of you are going to be more lenient on referral partners. But what I want you to imagine is that you had 10 referral partners and they gave you 10 leads. Your conversion ratio is when those referral partners give you those 10 leads, how many of them actually go to loan, to go to closing? Right? So that's what a conversion ratio is. If you get a lead from your existing database, and say you get 10 leads, and 8 of them convert, you've got an 80% conversion ratio. Okay?
Is the conversion ratio the actual one that closes, or is there a middle step there, like the lead to app to, and
That's a multitude. Basically, the question was this. Throughout the funnel, you're going to have different conversion ratios. You're going to have top of funnel to bottom is going to be quite low. It's probably going to be about 10 to 15%. As you get them into the middle of the funnel, maybe it goes to app, going to be higher, right? Because you wouldn't get somebody to app if it wasn't, you didn't see that they were going to.
Right, that's what I'm trying to say. It's
Yeah.
Because it's the other factors that are affecting it. I mean, obviously, the way we measure it is, if I can get an app, great.
Yep.
And that's where our job takes over.
Yes.
Like, your software, internet, whatever you choose, their job is to get you to in front of the potential homeowner or the refinance or whatever.
Yep.
And then it's up to you and your skills to get them to the application.
Yes.
It's never going to be automated where they're just going to go through the process. There's going to have to be a lot of your own personal talents involved.
Correct. And also part of top of funnel is also when you're having a conversation with a prospect, do you have the right rate? Do you have the right product? Can you fulfill it in the right way? Right? So those are other things too. But the initial part is getting the conversation going. Okay, so that's top of funnel conversion. By the way, guys, do you know why that's so important? Why is that so important? Why do you think that we at WowMe are like obsessed with top of funnel conversion? It's what we do. It drives what? Awareness. It drives awareness? Yeah, it does drive awareness, but why are we efficiency? Yes. It's a clear indicator on if you're going to make money or not. Okay? If you got a crappy top of funnel conversion, you've got to look at that and say, what is going on? Why is it so low? If it went in at the top, if I'm making 100 relationships a year and my conversion ratio is 1%, what the hell am I doing? And if you're not studying like a mad person, how on earth are you going to make it better for the next year? You've got to get obsessed about that. When you start getting into looking at what happened, oh, wow, I lost that person because I lost them on rate, or they were looking for a jumbo and we just couldn't compete with the big banks, or whatever the reason is. That's why people switch lenders, or should be. All right, do you have hard data to show this? Who has hard data to show their top of funnel? It's going to be irrelevant because a lot of you answered obviously no. By the way, your CRM can produce this. Do you know where your business comes from? Oh, fantastic. So this is going to be an interesting one. So most people said yes. Do you have hard data to show it? Okay, that's an interesting one. Do you use a CRM? Yes, I love that. I think that's the last question, right? Yeah. Okay, good. All right, interesting insights. Okay, hopping back into the presentation here. So are we going to have a new year with the same approach? I think that's like a really, again, it's kind of like what I was saying on the main stage. I don't think anybody needs convincing if their last year was crap that they need to do something for their next new year, right? We don't need to beat a dead horse there. But are you going to take the same approach this year as you did last year? Hopefully you won't. So at WowMe, these are the things that we run through with you. And again, this is not I know these premises seem like a sales pitch. I'm literally just going to share with you what we do. And you guys can literally take this model yourself. You do not need WowMe to do this. Okay, you do not need WowMe. Number one is establish a revenue roadmap. So why do we do that? So depending on where your business is coming from. So Lance, can you just share with the group, where does your business come from? Like, give me a rough estimate, percentage-wise.
76% comes from realtor referral.
Okay, so 76% came from referral partners.
And then the rest comes from database.
Existing database? Okay. So he's got 76% comes from referral partners, 24%. In fact, you guys should write this down. If you have pads, write down these three things. Existing database, direct consumer, and then referral partners. And just write down next to it. And you guys, most of you actually knew where your business comes from. So you do this exercise. So write that down. And then right next to it, what was your previous 12 months revenue, volume, and what was your projected 12 months? So it's going to look something like this. The previous 12 months was 10 million. The next 12 months is going to be 20 million. So what is the delta? It's 10 million, correct? Now you have those three different areas. You can now allocate where that $10 million is coming from. In the case of Lance, $7.6 million is going to be coming from referral partners, and $2.4 million is going to be coming from his existing database. How much is coming from his direct consumer business? Zero. Is that a problem? Probably. It's probably a problem, because it means he's having to work harder to get new people to do business with him, probably. Direct consumer.
Probert, I have a question on the analysis, just for tracking data, because I love tracking data.
Yeah.
If you have existing client base
Yep.
and versus referral partner,
Yep.
I think of referral partner as real estate agents, lawyers, blah, blah, blah.
Yep.
My clients are our referral people. They're the ones who bring in most of the referral. Are they a referral? Should I track?
I say their existing database.
That's
Yep, existing database. And then a direct consumer would be somebody that really just does not know you. Like, they're not related to a referral partner, they're not related to your existing database. These are somebody that's like, oh, I saw your Google profile, or hey, I saw your video on Instagram, or whatever it may be. But if you start doing this, if you start putting down where your business comes from, then you can start, you know what your delta is. Then what we do is, you see at the top there where it says, you guys at the back, it might be hard, but it says, I generate $1.5 million worth of business from my existing database with 6 unit sales. How do we know that information? Well, we know that this particular loan officer wanted to develop $1.5 million in volume from his existing database, and we knew that the average loan amount was whatever 1.5 divided by 6 is. Now, this is where a lot of people get stuck. How do you go out and get that goal? Like, how do you go out and generate $1.5 million worth of volume from your existing database? There's going to be steps that you're going to need to take to go get there, right? And this is where a lot of people feel overwhelmed, because, again, if you don't know what your top of funnel strategy is, how do you know how to go out and actually go and follow the steps to go and reach your $1.5 million goal? So that's the first thing we do. We start establishing previous 12 months, the next 12 months, we start establishing where your business is coming from so that we understand the delta and literally getting clear on the metrics of what that looks like. And so what are the metrics? Business origin, we just talked about. Conversion ratio, you get 10 leads in, how many actually went to loan? By the way, your CRM can do all of this. We actually are going to track it. We track it for our members too, but your CRM can actually do all of this. And if you're not doing it for 2025 and you don't go for our program, make sure you get the data to show so that in 2026 you're not like confused about where you need to go to increase your volume. And then the main thing is, we want to know how many leads are you going to need. I can't tell you how many people we spoke to where we said to them, hey, how many leads do you think you're going to need to go get your, $20 million in extra revenue goal, an extra volume goal? And they're like, oh, I don't know, like 100 leads or whatever. I said, well, what's your conversion ratio? I don't know. Well, can you get it? Can you come back in like a week and see if you can figure it out? Yeah, my conversion ratio is like 80%. 80%. So wait, if 10 realtors give you 10 leads, you're closing 8 out of the 10? That's bullshit. There's no way that's happening. Well, you need to know what the conversion ratio is, because that's going to tell you how many leads you're going to need. And otherwise, you're in delusion land. But if you knew, okay, I'm going to go out and I'm going to get 20 million lift in volume, and I need 350 leads to be able to go do that, where are those leads coming from? Then you can attach a specific marketing initiative to that. Otherwise, sorry guys, it's bullshit. You're just going to feel overwhelmed and you're going to be spinning plates and you're not really going to be leaning into what is needed to generate those leads. We call these revenue drivers. What is going to drive revenue production? So, sorry to use you as an example again, Lance, but let's just say, what are you looking to do in the next 12 months?
48 million.
48 million. What did you do in the previous 12?
22.
22. So let's just say for argument's sake, you're looking to increase your productivity by 100%, right? So just to use round numbers, 25 million, let's just say 25 million is coming from your referral partners, right? Now this is where we get into the real weeds. Okay, so now now the growth partner would, because there's an actual human being that goes through this process. Now the growth partner at WowMe is going to press Lance and say, look, you got 25 million in volume that you're looking to get. What's your average loan amount?
689.
689? Maybe somebody can do the math. Let's see what we've got here. So 25 million, this is where the nerd comes out. 25 million divided by what, 689?
Yep.
So that's 36 closed loans, right? 36 units. What's your closing ratio?
It's currently at 72%.
72%. So top of funnel, you get 7 leads from a referral partner and you're closing all 7 of them. 10 leads, you're closing 7 of them. Okay, so I'm going to divide that by 0.7. Okay, so basically your closing ratio, you're telling me that you need 51 leads to close that amount of business?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah? 51 leads to close 36 deals? Okay. So that's very high, but let's just say that is the case. So 51 leads. So the question is, where are you getting those leads from, right? Are they coming just from realtors? Are they coming from CPAs? Are they coming from financial planners? Are they coming from estate planning attorneys? All realtors. Okay, so you have all your eggs in the realtor basket. So here's the next question as we go through the list here. So Lance has to get 51 leads, right? We're going to divide that by 12, which is about 4 leads a month. Let's just call it 5 leads a month, just to be safe. What is the amount of leads that your realtor partners give you on a monthly basis? Like just averagely?
I haven't looked at the average lately. I'm going to guess per month, probably 4 or 5.
So Lance's answer was 1 realtor gives him 5 leads a month?
No,
Okay.
in total.
What do you mean in total? Oh, all of your referral partners together. So here's where the work comes. Because you got to figure out how many extra realtor partners do you need to actually get 5 additional leads a month? And it's probably going to be about 5, maybe even more. So now the revenue driver makes sense. If we know we need an additional 5 leads a month, and we know that on average, we get 1 referral partner gives us 1 lead a month, which could be a little bit high, but let's just say for argument's sake. That means he's got to go out and get 5 new realtor partners. Now we have a revenue driver, because how are we going to go and do that? Right? Makes sense? And then we've got all the different steps in our program already that contribute to how you're actually going to go and get those realtor partners. And by the way, we may look at Lance and say, hey, why are you putting so much emphasis on realtors? Why are you not going after financial planners or CPAs? Now, he may say, I don't want to do that, but we would entertain that idea. How many of you in the room, this is another interesting thing I've learned. How many of you in the room have closed more than 100 loans in your career? Raise your hands clearly and keep them up. Okay, keep them up. How many of you have closed more than 250? Keep them up. How many of you have closed more than 500? Yeah, your whole career. You have 500 customers. How many has 750 customers? Okay, how many has 1,000? Ooh, okay, good. Stand up. The guys who have 1,000, please stand up. I want to drill you on this. Okay, so out of the guys and the ladies as well that have closed 1,000, could you stand up, please, ma'am? Out of the ones that have closed 1,000, how much of your business comes from your existing database?
So just to clarify, you said 1,000 loans, not 1,000 clients.
You have 1,000 closed loans. That's 1,000 clients, right? Yeah.
No, it's not a loan repeat. So.
Okay, 1,000 clients.
Possibly. I think I'm pretty close.
Okay, we won't hold you to it, Rich. Yeah.
What's the question?
The question is, how much of your business comes from from your existing database?
Overall business.
Yep. What percentage?
30 to 40.
30 to 40. Very good.
100%.
100%. Okay, this gentleman has 100% referral business. 24%? Okay.
It's shifting all the time, though.
Okay, roughly? All of it?
I don't know, 50%?
Okay. 90%? Okay. And then ma'am at the back? 100%. If that's not inspired, by the way, thank you guys, amazing. If that isn't inspiring to look at, as you get more clients, more of your business self-generates. Yet, in an earlier stage loan officer, they're not doing the business of developing an advisory practice between them and the client. That's the gold. Everyone should be at least 40 to 50%. That should be a baseline. If you look at other industries and you comparatively look at like insurance, a huge amount of their business is well, you know, from Financial Planner, is maintained from existing database. For some reason with mortgage, it's not maintained. I read something a couple of years ago that something like 90% of home buyers have forgotten their mortgage advisor's name after the first 5 years or something. That's pretty crazy.
Sometimes the first 6 months.
Yeah, which is crazy considering the nature. So anyway, revenue drivers are really important, guys. Why? Because it keeps you really, really focused on the marketing initiatives that are needed to help you drive revenue. And then the last thing is measurement. Another question I asked in the main stage was, how many of you in the room have actually been through an actual like defined marketing program? And I think it was basically like no one. How you cannot have a successful, yeah? You have, okay.
Well, the mortgage marketing animals.
Oh yeah, those guys are cool. If you're not looking at data, it's bullshit. You have to look at data. If you're not looking at data, how can you possibly, I mean, it would be literally like trying to like reduce your body fat or lose weight and just being like, yeah, I kind of feel like I'm doing all right. Which you could probably look at, but not really, right? It's a struggle. Looking at data is everything. The more you know your data, the more you can create predictability in your business. No one needs convincing of that. It's just how do you do it? And that's one of the things we capture, I want to say, just on the, like kind of surface level, I think it's over 150 data points on your marketing to help you understand what to do better for next year. Because it takes about a year to get really good data. So, what did we discover at WowMe? Number one, we want to get really clear on where our members are going. Like from day one. I cannot tell you how demoralizing it is to have spoke to hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of our members and then tell you that you suck. It's not good. And it's basically because we didn't take the time to meet with them and really understand what they needed. It's kind of like a relationship. Well, it is a relationship. Number two, we've got to build your plan to get you there. Like there has to be a specific set of revenue drivers that you're implementing on a daily basis. It doesn't mean you have to work on those revenue drivers every day, but you better know where you're going. And when you meet with your growth partner every 30 days, they're going to be keeping you accountable for actually doing it. Number three, you've got to make some noise. You've got to generate content. You do not need WowMe to generate content. You could generate content through Canva. You could just start shooting content yourself. Obviously, you saw on the main stage, we make it really easy for you to create content for this specific reason, because there's so many plates that you're trying to spin. So making noise is absolutely imperative. But what I hope that I've articulated today is that making noise arbitrarily is pointless. You have to have a marketing initiative that is also tied to your revenue goal, and the content that you actually make noise with should be part of your marketing initiative. And then the last thing, I think this is most important, guys, is making sure that you have somebody to keep you accountable. How many of you in the room have somebody to keep you accountable for your marketing? Oh, okay. How many in the room have somebody to keep you accountable for your marketing activity? Nobody. So 100% of people that are part of our program do, and we get it. It's because there's a lot. So if you guys are interested in learning more about the program, you guys can scan in this QR code. You could also just go to c2marketing.app, so c2marketing.app, and then you'll be able to get in there. A couple of things, and I'll bring this up in case you guys have missed the QR. You get a bunch of stuff inside of the app. I don't want to sell this stuff to you guys now. Just go and take a look at the website, and you can see. There's 2 different tiers. One comes with the website, one doesn't. Website is absolutely imperative to have a great digital marketing strategy, but you guys can choose. We are launching this with C2 first. There is a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you try it and you go through the work with the growth partner, you sign up for the app, and you don't like it, all we ask for you before we refund your money is that you meet with our growth partner to tell us where we sucked and help us make it better. That's it. And then we'll give you money back. I guess this is the part where we're going to do the Q&A. And I'll leave that up there. Any questions? I think, is this, we're at time? They're trying to get us out of here? Okay, I hope that was helpful, guys. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you.